everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex Qian. I am a photographer and a video creator based out of Chicago, Illinois. Now, it's no secret that in today's digital age of photography, editing is what will set you apart from the rest of the crowd. So today I'm going to show you a real-time example of how Luminar allows me to get really creative with my edits and save a little bit of time in the editing room. Now, the shot that I'm going to use as an example is from one of my last adventures in Hawaii. This was about 8 weeks ago, right before the lockdown happened and we were all confined in our homes like I currently am now. Here is a little bit of the behind the scenes of that trip. Muddy, I'm dirty, I'm sweaty, but we made it in time for the sunrise. Totally worth all the pain. Can't wait to show you guys what comes out of it. Okay, so we're back at home in my editing studio where I have one of the images pulled up from that morning at Olamana Peak. I'm gonna go ahead and just open this up in Luminar straight from Lightroom. So because I've traditionally used Lightroom in my workflow, for now, it makes sense for me to continue to use Lightroom as a catalog. You can see all of my images here neatly organized and sorted from all of my different projects and my different trips. So we have this raw image. I haven't touched it up at all in Lightroom. So what I actually want to do is go to the Creative tab and show you kind of how easy it is to. Here we have a really good example of a neat image that is going to be really easy to replace the sky with. I think the biggest complaint with this morning was how plain the sky was. You can see the light is great and the texture and the detail is great. The framing is amazing, with this peak kind of being the subject in the middle and the light kind of surrounding it. But we all kind of know that having good sky conditions would really let you bring out an image, you know, if you get lucky with the conditions. Unfortunately, this morning I wasn't quite that lucky, even though we were there at the right moment, at the right time. So what I'm gonna do, and I've already picked out a couple that I really like, but I'm gonna show you a couple examples here, is, look at that, took a second, and we already have a sky. Now, this looks great, but to me, the light doesn't completely make sense, right? Like we have light coming in from over here and the light is from behind the mountains and you can kind of see the light on the mountain itself. So what we're gonna do is actually dramatically recreate the scene, but also make sure that it still makes sense. So I'm actually going to use this example here. And I think the lighting and the mood fits kind of the raw image pretty closely, but we're gonna do a couple things to make it look even more convincing. And I'm gonna just play around with these sliders here. To me, the sun is a little bit too high, and we're gonna play with it. So one, remember I mentioned that I want the light to make sense. So the sun is over here and all the light is over here. So I'm actually gonna flip the sky, and you can see how the lighting changed and now kind of fits the direction of all of the light in the scene. To me, that looks a lot better. And we could stop here, but we're gonna do a couple things that I feel will really make this image pop, even though we've done a lot already. Can you see how easy that was? Even just now, we probably only spent a couple minutes on it. And already we have a good image, but I think there's a couple more things that I could do to really make this image pop. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this on and off for you real quick. I spent a little bit of time, as I usually do, just fixing and making sure the balance was right. So let me turn this on and off to kind of show you what I did just bringing highlights to different areas of the image that I feel like needed a little bit more pop where the light was hitting. And I think that looks pretty good to me. So we're going to go ahead and click done and then apply. And what this is going to do is it's automatically going to export this back to my Lightroom catalog where all of my images are safely stored. Okay, so we're back in Lightroom now, and now we're gonna do a comparison between my original edited image versus the new image that we created in Luminar. You can see it's basically a completely different image. So here on the left, you can see my original edit. This is a little bit more minimal and something that I use with the more traditional tools that I have in my workflow. And here we have the new image that I created with Luminar. You know, in my opinion, it's hard for me to choose a favorite. I really like both, and both kind of fit within the constraints of my style. But I want to hear from you guys. Which image do you like better? Do you like the more minimal style with my traditional workflow, or the more creative and dramatic edit with Luminar? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you really like this, and we will do more of these for you guys.